That's right. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. You already know what it is. That Wednesday fix. Do me a favor, though. That's all I ask is hit that like, hit that subscribe, and then hit the bell. And when you hit the bell, you got to hit the all button. That way you're notified every single time that we go live on Chicano Street. That's what it is here for the raza. I highly appreciate you guys. We got a lot to talk about. Una hora se va a volar de volada. But first, always first, the formalities. Gracias to all the day oneers. Gracias to everyone in the members only. If you don't know what the members only is, there's where we kick the guerra stories. There's where they want to hear about the tira, the level 4s, and all this other stuff. We leave that over for the members only. We're not like some of these other cabrones that, hey, to each his own. I'm not knocking anyone, but that's not my thing. It's not happening on the internet right here. All you're going to get right here is unity of the raza and positivity. And, of course, we sprinkle in some chisme. We sprinkle in a little bit of everything else, cotorreo mostly. But, again, gracias to all the day oneers, the members only, the backbone of the community. All the Chicano channels, all the Chicano pages. I highly appreciate you guys for your apoyo. And even to the haters. To the haters, I appreciate the hate. I appreciate the comments. They want to hear nothing but net banging, phone banging, net tripping. Hey, you're not going to find that right here, cabrones. Here, you're going to find leveling up and helping the gente, especially the pinche youngsters. My youngsters already know what it is. I want to give a shout out to one of the youngsters. His name is Isaac. Shout out to Isaac, Northside, Santa Cruz. Shout out to you. I was over at the homegirl's house and getting blackout session, and he was right there, just touched down. A great conversation that we had. There's still a lot of youngsters that are proud, carrying cultura, and are clechad up. So that was a great conversation I had the youngster while I was getting blasted on. Shout out to you. And shout out to Bonkers Ink. If anyone is looking for any ink, mi linda raza, if you're looking for any ink and you are in the 831 area, then what you need to do is find Bonkers Ink on Instagram. That's what you need to do in case you want to get that ink fix. Let me go ahead and get the chat up right now. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into it. There's a lot always to talk about. You already know that. Let me get the chat up right now. That's right. I appreciate you, my boy. Enrique Ledesma says, here's another one I heard through the grapevine. Lefty y los Transformers. Gacho sauce. That's gacho sauce. But we will be talking about that if we get to it, man. That's right. Tommy Thunder, my boy Tommy Thunder with the promotions. Brenda Love, a day oneer. Brenda La Chicana. Of course, she's on Chicano Street. Of course, Brenda Love is on here. God bless you. Gracias, amiga. I highly appreciate your support. Congratulations on the new house. Congratulations on the pool también. I don't know why, Brenda Love, some people were messaging me and telling me, when's Brenda Love's pool party? When did I say there was a pool party ever happening? You cabrones are a trip, man. But it should be a housewarming party, right? With gifts. $50 and up. No, I'm just kidding. But shout out to Brenda Love, and congratulations on all your success. Send Cal's in the casa. Let's go. He says, my boy, 805 Plumbing. We're going to talk about Cholo Juan tonight because me and Cholo Juan have exchanged some DMs in regards to a fade, a fight. I'll give you that whole scoop tonight, I promise. That's right, Carlos. I appreciate you. Mile High Hustle, my boy, who's getting ready for the chingazos happening this Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great Thanksgiving. It's going to be a Thanksgiving to remember after you've overdosed on turkey. And you're done. You've already joked all you can joke with the familia. Everyone's sitting on the couch, and there's nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do on Thanksgiving. Guess what's happening at 6 o'clock? You got Paradigm Media News finally stepping inside the ring. And we finally got an opponent who's ready, willing, and able. If you haven't subscribed over to his channel, do yourself the favor. Not me. Do yourself the favor and subscribe over to Mile High Hustle. Now, let me get the chat up, and we'll talk about LA Eyekon, Blue Devil, Cholo Juan. We're going to be talking about this older cat, this older head who's making videos on Marvelous. I got a lot to say about that. And we'll talk about 45 too. This is not political too, not tonight. That's important, but I'm gonna glean out some real important facts for you guys that is really gonna level you up when it comes to that situation. I'm not here to news report or give you my opinion, but watch what I give you when we get to 45, and then this stripper quinceañera dance. We're gonna talk about that because that's been going viral. Parents, what WTF is going on when you let your 15-year-olds dance that kind of provocative dancing? We'll get to all that. And I'm coming off of a 72-hour fast, mi linda raza. When you come off a 72-hour fast, you don't want to overeat. That's a huge mistake a lot of people make when they fast. 72-hour fast. I'm going to give you some health tube right now. That's really going to help you out. I don't hear anyone else, trying to help the raza out like that. So I'm going to be the one that's going to help the raza out when it comes to your health. Why did I do a 72-hour fast? Well, one, we came back from L.A. So shout out to L.A., shout out to the hospitality, shout out to the invitations. We couldn't make them all, but shout out to everyone over there. And to be honest with you, just sitting there at Goofy's Kitchen, even though I think it's a little overpriced, okay, you're going to be paying $100 for cafeteria food. That might be a little overpriced right there. No, it's not 100. It's like 70, 80, whatever, right? Per person. And there were 6 of us. But seeing my son's expression sitting down during Goofy's Kitchen is worth more than money can buy, is worth more than gold. I don't give a shit. You can keep your bolsita. You can keep your bag. I'd rather see my son's expression 1,000 times over when Goofy, Mickey, Pluto are walking around him, sitting inside this hometown buffet, glorified hometown buffet. All right, so shout out to everyone from L.A., man. Let's get into it. Pancho Zapato, I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. Ranch Gangs in the casa. L.A. Dodger Blue. That's right, cabron. That's right. Dubs is sober. I doubt it, cabron. He started off all tranquilo, leaning back on the beach chair, talking and giving clecha. Dubs started off giving clecha. Now, where he lost points in my book is, one, he left the runner for dead. Right? Even the runner did a video. No one's with me. I'm alone on YouTube. Oh, pobrecito, cabrón. Where's my fucking 10 G's at, punk? Anyways, and so when he left them for dead, the runner's such an idiot that, he'll get packed out and then the next day go kick it with the people that pack him out. That's a similar situation. So when Dub said, you know what, the feria's running a little bit low, yeah, let me get back with the runner who I left for dead, and both of them were happy to be butt buddies again. I don't think he's sober. Matter of fact, he just laughs now like a maniac. So I'm not sure. That might be enough. Maybe he's just popping Quaaludes, or maybe he's popping pyramids. I don't know. Anyways, the 72-hour fast, gente, what it does is it reboots the immune system. Of course, it eats belly fat, but it reboots the immune system. A lot of us that have chronic diseases in our families, we have cancer that runs in the family. The C runs in the family. We have liver disease, kidney disease. We have heart disease. All of these things that are hereditary, these are called chronic diseases. A 72-hour fast reboots your immune system. Some of us wonder why it takes us 1 week to get over a pinchy cold. Why? Because your immune system is weak and needs to get rebooted. Just think about it like this, okay? Our ancestors here, right here. There's a temple of Quetzalcoatl right here. Where we sacrifice culture vultures. Our ancestors, they didn't eat 3 meals a day. There were hunters. And in between those meals, because I believe this was God's design for the human body. It wasn't to take pills. Every time you go to the doctor and they want to put a pill in you, they want to prescribe a pill for you. I believe this was God's design to cleanse, detoxify, and reboot and strengthen our bodies. So I just came off a 72-hour fast. Shout out to the beautiful, smoking, sexy hot wife. She asked me, honey, what do you want to eat when you break the fast? She made this cheese dip the other day that was on steroids. On steroids. It was called queso fundido. It's Oaxaca queso with chorizo and with the chiles, rajas de chile, the campana and other things. I don't know. It's so damn fire. It's so damn fire. So I just broke it. I hadn't eaten since Sunday. night, 5 or 6 o'clock, until about an hour ago. I know it takes a lot of pinchy strength, but if you can power through and do that, that's really gonna help you, you know. Because at the end of the day, these messed up diets, drinking every weekend, having fun and having a blast, at the end of the day could cost us 10 to 15 years of our life. And some people, I mean, the majority of people, it's easier not to diet. It's easier to drink every weekend and shit like that, right? But a lot of people, when they wind up in the hospital and they wind up with all these illnesses and diseases and shit's all fucked up inside their bodies, they look back and be like, damn. You know, the Eddie Murphy song, My Girl Wants to Party All the Time. That's what we're doing, cabron. X-Rated 559's in the casa. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. Making it rain is 805 Plumbing. I appreciate you. Stay hydrated and stay safe, Rasa. That's right, my boy. And I forgot my water. Maybe the executive producer, if she's hearing, she'll help me out and bring me a glass of water. Rascal Reacts is in the casa. That's right, cabrón. Gracias, homie. I'm trying to hit each one. The last one is today. Okay. I'm not even sure what you're talking about, but that's my favorite reaction channel. He's in the casa, so do yourself a favor. And if you want 5 cents, you ask him for 2 cents. He gives you 5 cents sprinkled with a little bit of sarcasm. Go ahead and do yourself a favor and subscribe over to Raskeezy. Rascal Reacts. Okay, 72-hour fast is all done. I feel great. And now I'm about to get right back into the motion. I was dragging my feet today. Real quick, I want to give a rest in peace shout out. A lot of people have been passing. ¿Me puedes traer agua? No más agua. Okay. I'm on the front. Want to go to the side? Yeah. All right. Is that Mikey's? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, amor. The food was fire. Oh, right on time. Hold on, cabrones. Hold on. You got to hit the brocha. All right. So I want to give a rest in peace. A lot of people have been passing away. This has been a crazy year, man. What a crazy año, man. A lot of people passing away. We had Apollo Creed pass away. Richard Simmons just passed away. A lot of people don't know who these people are. Maybe only us, older heads, etc. Richard Simmons, he was like a fitness guru. Apollo Creed, we know who Apollo Creed is. That's not his real name, but infamous for the movies. I think his name is Bill Simmons. Kobe Bryant's dad just passed away. It's just too many people for me not to name. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant's dad, Joe Bryant. I mean, he was like a basketball star in LaSalle. I don't know if that's in L.A., and then he did 6 seasons in the NBA. Of course, Kobe passed away in 2020, I believe very early 2020, but I could be wrong. Too many people have been passing away, man. It's just, these legends are passing away. It seems like a whole new generation is taking over. Sooner or later, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. It's a little bit scary, But the Bible says things ain't going to get better. Things actually are going to get worser. And then, of course, Brenda from 90210, okay, she just passed away. And, man, that one right there, I was like, phew, who doesn't remember that, right? We all came, well, a lot of us that came up in the 90s know the primetime shows. One of them, Beverly Hills 90210. Leave that door open. The Peach Pit, right? Dylan, all that stuff. But, again, too many people are passing away. I just wanted to give an RIP to all the people while we kick this pinchy show off. Again, shout out 805. I appreciate the super chat, my boy. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We got a lot to talk about, and we never get through it all. Never. So live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Let's talk about LA Eyekon, because I already have talked about LA Eyekon leaving the food community, but it just came out. It just came out. The reason why LA Eyekon left the food community, there's no more doubt. There's no more doubt. Now we know the reason. And it was disclosed from LA Eyekon himself. All right. So it was in regards to the owner of Food Community. Okay. There's a behind the scenes, doesn't show his face, silent owner, whatever you want to call him, of Food Community. Right. And I think his name is Juan. Okay. I think his name is Juan. And so he's in charge of the Instagram. Okay. So there was one post that finally, LA Eyekon said this, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. So LA Eyekon announced he's leaving Food Community because of this post. And what was the post? We finally have found out what the post is. It was in regards to Big Boy from Strength Cartel. Food Community, which I don't even know if I'm going to keep subscribed or not. Just depends how the right now they're in limbo. So I don't know what the Food Community is going to do. I actually think they need a new face of the Food Community. To be honest, they should have kept Pocho. They should have kept Pocho 1. I mean, you had an intelligent individual with mouthpiece. Now they made a mistake. I'm sure they regret it now. But now he's in limbo, and he doesn't even know what to do. But, I don't even know if I'm going to stay subscribed. LA Eyekon said, because of this post, what did Food Community do? They posted Big Boy feeding a black gentleman watermelon. Watermelon. That's what he did. So he fed the guy watermelon. The guy fed him back. There was racial undertones. People are going to run with whatever they're going to want to run with. You can make anything racist. Racist is the easiest pinche palabra and jacket that you can throw on someone. When you don't know what to call someone y le quieres rayar la madre, just call them racist. I mean, that's the easiest thing that a lot of libs are doing nowadays. But he said that was the reason. He told them, take it down. And when this happened, he was on vacation. And he said all of those unnecessary hours that I had to deal with issues like this. Not just that, but because he was unbiased toward Chicanos from up north, bringing them on the show was another reason he was getting a lot of flack. That was one of the reasons I believe Food Community was going to keep soaring. I mean, soaring and soaring and soaring. Because at the end of the day, to me, all I see is the bolsita. To me, all I see is the bag. To me, I don't see no streets. Whatever's on the streets is on the streets. Whatever's behind the walls should stay behind the walls. If you're going to stop me from making a bag, we're never doing business. We're never doing business. And you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay where you are because you're limiting yourself on your income because you're more loyal to the streets than you are to succeeding. Hey, to each his own. I'm not knocking it. You do you. So LA Eyekon said because of this post, he had to spend hours on the phone with this guy trying to convince him to take it off the Food Community. When the vato didn't want to do it, he didn't want to do it. He on vacation, he finally had enough. And then he took the post down like the next day, like, maybe I should listen to, the host of the Food Community, who's actually the face. Who's actually the face of the Food Community. Again, I don't know if I'm going to stay subscribed. A Food Community is 100% in limbo. A lot of people had asked me about the Food Community. Mike, what do you think about the Food Community? Do you think it downplays the raza? Do you think it's insulting? I mean, they clown, they make fun. That Cholo culture obviously is very heavily emphasized over there. And I want to make this distinction once and for all the raza. Okay, here we represent Chicanos. This is Chicano Street. This is Chicano Tube. Okay, having this name is a huge responsibility. That's why that street shit and all this other hood shit, leave me out of it. Here is where we elevate the people, period. Elevate the people 100%. So in the Food Community, if you're going to be selectively picking, this guy, that guy, no. This guy, yes, that guy, no. You're stopping the bolsita. Automatically, you're stopping the bolsita. And hey, if you want to stop the bolsita, you do you. Here we speak for Chicanos. Here we emphasize unity of the raza. Here we don't glorify any bullshit. This definitely is not for views. It's not for comments. If it was just one person in the pinche chat, hey, I'd be happy. Why? Because at least I'm not talking to myself like a pendejo. That's right, Spunkyos in the casa. That's right, my boy. All the white pinche reskeezy. All the white girls love 902. I like 902. I don't know if I loved it. Okay, that's a strong word. 90210 and Melrose Place. Boom. They were back to back. This is about the time that, Dr. Dre was coming out, and it was just a time, man, to be on the calles and all that. But anyways, food community is in limbo. I think they need to look for another face and re-strategize on where they're going to go. I want to make this clear. The Cholo culture and Chicano culture here on Chicano Tube, I'm letting you know that's not the same. That is not the same. I'm letting you know, don't ever intertwine the Cholo culture and the Chicano. The Chicano culture is something to be proud of. The Chicano culture is our parents who nearly sacrificed their lives to come to this country and give us a better life. The Chicano culture is all the plights and struggles that we had to do to get equality. That's the Chicano culture. The Cholo culture, that's different. The Charlie Browns and putting a little Charlie Brown on a 2-year-old and putting Ben Davis on a 2-year-old and putting hairnets on a 2-year-old, I say what Cholo Juan says, chalucas. We're going to be talking about Cholo Juan right now. But chalucas with that. That's not Chicano culture. I know maybe a lot of people have heard different, and maybe you believe different. But we're going to lay down some solid principles here because we got principles here. We don't sell out. Over here, we're not selling out for views. We ain't going to start no, like Alvin, and we're going to start no fake beefs. We ain't going to do none of that for views. Remember Alvin and Comparator? Yeah, they came up with the plan. And people still watch the channel, and hey, to each his own. You're going to do you, right? They came up with a plan. Hey, let's get into it. Let's bump heads. Then you go to Adam 22 and then call me, and then I'll go over there, and we'll do all kinds of shows back and forth, and we'll get 100,000 views, and yeah. And all of this is lying to the people. All of this is lying to the people. That you ain't going to get none of that shit here. So again, I just want to distinguish Chicano culture because there's a lot of culture vultures out there. Yes, there is. The biggest culture vulture, in my opinion, a lot of people will say, oh, it's Vlad TV. It's Adam 16, whatever they call him, Adam 22, whatever. A lot of people think those are not the worst culture vultures. You know who the worst culture vultures are on YouTube? Is those que fingen, those that fake, those that pretend to be raza and to want to benefit raza. And all they do is scam raza. Like the number one culture vulture, number one absolutely is the runner. The runner's the number one because he came out for the raza, for the people, for the gente, for the raza. And at the same time, he's smoking his YouTube money up in hotel rooms with shards of glass, scamming, burning people, burned me for 10 G's. And then my lawyer finds out he owes $50K in child support. So he's a real one. Again, I'm not trying to throw shade, but at the end of the day, me vale. We're going to speak what it is. There's a lot of culture vultures. And I'm always going to warn the raza. Watch out with these cabrones. That's why you think I'm tripping when someone says, oh, he's the face of the raza. He's the face of LA. He's the face of NorCal. And then I find out his name is Franklin Scott Holiday. Again, this is not Chicano brown supremacy or anything like that. Nah, it's actually the opposite. It's critical thinking, independent thinking. That's what we should be doing. But when someone is named Franklin Scott Holiday, I'm going to question it because they're trying to say, and this has nothing to do with, oh yeah, but this is what the streets say, right? Well, we'll embrace anyone that we embrace. No, that's actually behind the walls. I'm sorry, I take that back. This is what happens behind the walls, but behind the walls trickles to the streets all the time, right? Well, as long as they get embraced, chale. I say chale because I'm tired of seeing these guys. I've seen too many cabrones scam the gente, lie to the people. Franklin, now that we're talking about him, Franklin Scott Holiday, one of the culture vultures, right? He just recently, it came to light some DMs that he has in the past messed with people with stick shift transmissions. So it's come out on the DMs. I don't know it to be true. They said the same thing about another rapper named Lazy Boy out of San Jose. Let's just keep this a buck. because a lot of people just think I lean one way, lean another way. You're from NorCal, Mikey, and all these other things that I keep repeating myself, but it should be my energy that lets you know on what level I'm at. Because when I come in the room, I don't let the energy of the room affect me. I change the energy of the room with positivity, with professionalism. If I eat, we're all eating. If you need help, I'm going to pull you up. If anyone's going to succeed, I want you to succeed first and me last, because I know how the blessing works. The first shall be last, the last shall be first. Come on now. Anyways, these culture vultures, that are on YouTube, I'm questioning them and I'm calling them out, and I will never stop calling them out. A lot of people DM me, man, Mikey, why you talk shit about AC? Why you talk shit about album? That's fine. You can go ahead and follow. I'm not saying unsubscribe at all, but there's too many lies. The first one was, if I don't get to 100K, and this is telling you to your face, if you don't help me get to 100K, I'm out of here. I'll live my life and I don't care about you. That was the first lie. The second lie was, I'm going to be for the people. I'm going to help the people. And I take a vow. And then he goes to 2 meetings in 1 year and then says it was because of a printer he got fired. But yet we want to take political advice from this individual. I'm calling him right now a culture vulture. Well, Mikey, he grew up. I understand that. But here's where the people get aguitado conmigo, is because I want to be technical with it. I'm going to be technical with it. Especially when all these things come out. And then recently I just posted a clip because the co-host caught a spousal in February. Fake news. There's the paperwork. I didn't get fired. There's the paperwork. I mean, I don't know what the hell else you want, but he's definitely a culture vulture. I guess we're going to keep talking about culture vulture. Screw it. That's right, Carlos. Yo, that's right, my boy. Ora Norbies, I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. I appreciate you. Norbies is in the casa, man. Risky Business is in the casa. That's right, cabron. I'll put the phone up in a little bit in case anyone wants to call in. There's too much to talk about. I don't even know if we're going to get through everything. But let's finish this culture vulture thing, because this was on my mind recently. I'm just seeing, the climate on YouTube and people just falling in the traps, being susceptible. And all of us have. You seen me in the beginning. I didn't know anyone from Adam. And then when I started finding out about people, like the sex play lives and all that shit that was happening with the Dubs and the Runner, I backed up. I didn't say shit. I was jumping in their comments once a month. Hey, tapping in, sending mines to the chat. Once a month while everyone was jumping on there, doing videos, going live. Hey, no, it was fun while it was fun. But the sex play lives, I got to go. Because in Salinas, homie don't play that. Another culture vulture that recently got exposed is Ryder G. Now, again, this is only superficial. It's only from what I see on the outside. From the surface, someone posted Ryder G's paperwork. His paperwork. I'm telling you, they're going to post your paperwork. They're going to post what yards you were on. They're going to post any skeletons you got in the closet. You can't hide from the internet. They found, and maybe we'll get to it, they found Alfredito's, the culprit that hit Alfredito. Maybe we'll get to that. I'm not sure. You can't hide from the internet. Ryder G, it just got revealed that Ryder G's, and I'm not knocking güeros. All my güeros, shout out to the güeros. Shout out to the solid güeros, that tap in on Chicano Street. I'm not knocking this thing. I'm just tired of imposters on YouTube. Ryder G's real name is what? Is David Vaughn. That's all I'm saying. So the raza this, the raza that, we might have to do an ancestry DNA. All right, enough of the culture vultures, cabrones. Again, we talked about the food community. Now let's go ahead and get to another one, because you've seen me post something that a lot of you DM'd me. Is it happening, Mike? Let me talk about the hater world, and let me talk about Cholo Juan. All right. So we all know what happened, right? Well, let me give a little bit of backstory. A lot of people don't know the whole story. I got to be the one to give you the backstory, right? We got to have context here. So the hater world was going in on Cholo Juan. You know, he got to go in on somebody. I'll be in rotation. Everyone's in rotation. Sooner or later, he's going to talk shit about you because it's called content. You know what I mean? He got to make content, you know. And so he was talking shit about Cholo Juan. Let's keep this a buck. He called him mugroso. I'm not trying to rehash old shit. I'm not trying to rehash it. He called him mugroso. He said, let's start a GoFundMe to get Cholo Juan more tank tops. So they exchange shots. It's water under the bridge. Cholo Juan is a professional. I was just DMing him yesterday and this morning. I'll get to that right now. Cholo Juan's a professional. So he goes and does his podcast tour. You know, the podcast tour where you just jump on all the podcasts and it boosts your engagements. It boosts your subscribers. It boosts your brand. Let's just keep this a buck. It boosts your brand, right? So he did not decline an invitation to go to Calexico, to go where the hater world is from, the king of Calexico. He didn't decline that. And so he went down there by himself. He didn't take a crew. He doesn't need a crew. That's how I know he's a real man. Because what chavalas do when they feel the heat is they start calling up 40, 50 people. Hey, we got to do this. Hey, let's go over here 40, 50 deep. 40, 50. Why do you need, or two or three, can never go nowhere by themselves. Always got to have 2 or 3 people. You just never know, right? No, it's not that you just never know. It's you're a chavala. Cholo Juan went down there by himself, even though he didn't know what to expect. They had past prior beefs. And when Cholo Juan pulled up to the hater world, there was vatos there. He's not thinking nothing of it. Again, he's just getting a temperature check. He's going over there for the podcast like a professional. We know what happened. There's an individual snowman who called in, who now I heard is really trying to clean up what he said online. Because when he thought he was only disrespecting Cholo Juan, that individual snowman, I don't know who he is. Shout out to him. Shout out to Snowman. What he didn't know when he was disrespecting Cholo Juan is that he was disrespecting several neighborhoods and several people. Again, I'm not getting in that shit. Not at all. No, I'm trying to stir the pinchy pot. But what we say on the internet, sometimes we gotta answer for that shit. You know, anyone got any beef with what I say, we'll pull up to the gym. 285 East Alisal, Salas. And then we can get it out of our systems. That's grown man shit. Not phone banging, net banging. We're talking about that individual is talking about Marvelous in a little bit. So Cholo Juan pulled up over there not knowing what to expect. And it was, other than the snowman incident, it was a good interview. Cholo Juan right now is on fire, cabrones. He's bringing numbers. You know, I'm subscribed. I was subscribed to Cholo Juan when he was doing videos in a park. What I appreciate about that cabron is his individuality. Because there's a lot of copycat cabrones on the internet that are just trying to be someone else. You know, or they're envious or they're jealous. You know, like the runner. When the runner saw that other platforms were getting to 100K and he didn't, what did the runner do? He bought 50,000 subscribers. And then after the channel got monetized back, I guess he's back. He's blocked me. Anyways, here we go. So Cholo Juan came back, and now Hater World did a video saying, well, this, well, that, did I set him up? And again, he's just riding the cloud. He's just pushing out content, you know. That's why he's on the live, you know, by himself till 3 a.m. I think it's clout. I think attention is a motherfucker. Attention is a hell of a drug. It changes people on the internet. People love it, right? Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I think people could tell. I think people could tell who's just an attention whore. I think people could tell, right? Anyways, So now they get it. Cholo Juan responds, does a video, and he says, let's run that fade. I get a hold of Cholo Juan. No, let me take that back. I didn't get a hold of Cholo Juan. I drew up the contract. I drew up the contract for Cholo Juan, and I said, buenos días. I have the DMs right there. Buenos días. Con respeto, primeramente, I've drawn up a contract. If you agree to these terms, we'll iron out the details. Con respeto, Mikey. Boom. I shot it like a huila. I shot it like a huila on the tira. I know, because I know that's how he talks, right? He's still on the tira, pinche Cholo Juan. He's still on the tira. Anyways, and he came back to me. Now, I doubt, and Cholo Juan is 100% professional. That's how he came off to me. I told him, look, we're LLC'd, we're ready to go, and we'll do the event anywhere. I have gyms from San Diego to Crescent City. One phone call, it don't matter. We could do it in the 805. I got like 2 in the 805. So he was a professional, right? He got back to me like a professional. And the hater world, because there's it's been circulating around that his back is broken. He broke his back on the forklift. I'm just kidding. But he's walking with the cane. So that is why I don't think it's going to materialize. A lot of the calling someone out for a fade on the internet is woofing. Back in the 90s, we called it wolf tickets. They're selling wolf tickets now for views, subs, comments, todo la chingada, todo. It's the internet. The internet's a trip. So will that materialize? I don't know. But there's a contract ready, and I'm willing to accommodate both individuals. Whether they accept it or not, it's going to be totally on them. Speaking of that, I want to talk. Well, let me go into the comment section real quick. That's right. Kimos Flix is in the casa. That's right, my boy. I hit that like on the way in, Holmes. That's right, cabron. Kimos Flix, get at me, cabron. We got to talk about the YouTube Yarda Awards. Get at me on este número, cabron. That number right there. Get at me. Just send me a text. Or voice messages, or no caller ID, or call me unknown, or however it is, carnal. I just want to try to work out the YouTube Yarda Awards for this December, carnal. So get at me on this number if you can, or if not, if you have an IG. I don't think you do. Have an IG. Get at me on this número de teléfono. All right. Let me talk about this older cat that just came on the internet all of a sudden, and he's been going at Marvelous Inc. Let me talk about that. I got a lot of respect for Marvelous. A lot. Because there's very, very few. I'm one of them. Well, for one, there's very few in the Chicano genre. Right? Marvelous is in the Chicano genre. One. Two, there's very few in the Chicano genre that really are trying to level you up. That really are trying to help you be a better person, be a better version, evolve in life, and succeed. And he's one of the Chicano channels that is on the internet trying to constantly help people. Now I'm talking about on YouTube, when he does a YouTube video, right? When he does IGs, he's mostly, he's blasting, he's shooting ink and giving thoughts también, or he's reacting to it. I don't know if he's been reacted to this individual, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Or like Raskizi says, 5 cents. To me, when I see an older cat who looks like he's been klechad up sometime or another, and I say this with all due respect, but I see him get on the internet and his very first videos have to be going after someone. What does that tell you? Anyone with any kind of IQ, or let's just call it klecha. What does that tell you? Jumping on the internet 100% for views. He's going to do the model, the hater world model, which is always someone's name in the caption. Someone's name, or funk or beef. Beef, funk, beef, funk. If it's not Marvelous, then he's going to go after someone else. If it's not someone else, then he's going to go after someone else. But being, which he looks about 50 years old, which is still, it's young, it's midlife. for coming off on the internet like that, it's absolutely the opposite of what a veterano should do. Again, I don't know if he's a veterano, right? Obviously, to be a veterano, you had to, did tiempo as a juvenile, and you had to did tiempo as an adult. A lot of people say, Alvin, oh, he's a veterano, he's an OG. Oh, yeah? He's only been to juvenile hall? I'm just saying. I mean, but that could be a veterano to you. Maybe it is. To me, I have a different definition, right? I think he is. And to come off on the internet, phone banging. Well, actually, that was Snowman. Snowman was phone banging. Net banging on the internet. It just goes to show you how much people will do for clout. How much people will do for attention when they're not getting attention. We're living in a generation now where they just stare at their phones. They're just on their phones. They won't even. We got people that are getting carpal tunnel in their pinche manos from holding their phone. Serio. I got doctors friends. I got nurse friends. We got people that are getting carpal tunnel because they're holding their phones. Again, just know when you see someone that looks like they had some game at one point, come on the internet and it's bam, bam, name. It's 100% for clout. Once you start showing this new generation tendencies or something like that, whatever you did in the past is gone. It's done. And now you just put him in the category of a clout chaser. So that's all that dude is. He's 100% a clout chaser. Marvelous is 100% more for helping the people as opposed to this individual who wants to just come on here and start smutting people up. So we could be like, well, Mikey, you smut people. I speak the truth. That's all I do. I was just talking about these culture vultures. Are they not culture vultures or not? I'm just trying to run a make. You got one whose last name is Holiday. You got one whose last name is Vaughn. And you got one whose last name is Vidari. Anyway, so I don't think that, I already moved on from the Blue Devil. All right, let's keep it moving, man. We did talk about the DMs that were leaked about, Lefty. But then again, Lazy Boy. A lot of people are saying it's AI generated. I don't put it past AI. You've got AI, so many AI chats, literally, that can do anything for. They could run an essay for you. They could make a caption, make a lot of things. I just posted some AI shit today on Trump, on 45. And it was AI. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I'll put it up right now. That's right, Reyes Alvarez. I appreciate you, cabrón. That's right. I appreciate you. Saludos, Chicano Tube. That's right. For the raza, I appreciate you, cabrón. Gracias for making it rain. That's right, Reyes Alvarez. That's right, cabrón. Carlos says, maybe he's adopted. Who's it? That's true. It could be adopted, right? But again, the only bone I ever pick with people is these cabrones that say they're for the people, but their fruit. The fruit on their tree is rotten. They're not for the people. They scam people. They do fake raffles, fake this, for the people, for the raza, for the gente. And then all the lies come out. All the skeletons come out. They tuck their tail, and they come back because they have no shame at all. The truth is the truth. It'll always stand. You never have to remember what the truth is because the truth is always going to be the truth. But anyways, let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. Let me see. What were we talking about? Oh, okay. I wanted to go ahead and talk about Norby's. That's right, cabron. That's the new excuse to get out of shit. What is it, cabron? Mile High Hustle. Oh, cabron. Stop already. Droops, nothing but just kicking back. That's right. That's right. I appreciate you, Vanessa. All right, let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep moving. Let's talk about Nate Diaz. Okay, Nate Diaz. Really quick, we're gonna try to get to the quinceañera. That was like the stripper dance. Maybe talk about 45. I do want to talk about 600 a little bit because they did a boxing fight, and I think it was Bootsy. I think it was priced right though. I priced mine the same, like 15 bolas, 20 bolas. So it was priced correctly, but I'll tell you why it was Bootsy. Nate Diaz, he came out on Twitter, clarified that he has no issues with fan meal. but the company Fan Mio only gave him $1 million out of $10 million guaranteed dollars. The owner, the CEO of Fan Mio, said, if I pay Nate Diaz the other $9 million, I will be losing money on this event. And then there was other reports that, said the wife was pissed when all this came to light and all these other things, right? Now, he's entitled to his money because there was a contract that was signed. It's plain and simple. When there's a contract, there's a contract. See, this is what happens when we don't do business the right way. I started Content Creator Series of Fighting, right? We can do events anywhere from San Diego to Crescent City, out of state, it don't matter. We're LLC'd and ready to go. August is still wide open. There's been nothing yet set for August. Again, the Cholo Juan one would be interesting. He's in, as far as I know. He's in. He wants to run that fade with him. But I don't know if that materialized. When I started Content Creator Series of Fighting, I said, I'm not going to be losing money starting this business. And if people really have the following that they have, it don't matter. You could have 100,000 subscribers, but only 100 of those cabrones are supporting you. We'll find that out. I wasn't going to be losing money with Content Creator Series of Fighting. I told all my fighters, look, I'm going to do percentages. This is going to be percentage based. Okay. So I'll take the low cut. We'll get a high cut. If there's a TKO, KO, it'll be a higher cut. Someone's going to get a loser, lower cut, etc. But this is the model that's going to make it a success. Because if you really got the backing of the people, it'll come to show. So the payout is not dependent on me, like in this Nate Diaz situation. The payout is dependent on you. And I don't think there's anyone that's going to say Mikey didn't promote it, Mikey didn't promote. Oh, man, I put my heart in that. I put my time into that. Way more time than I do even in my businesses. I put time into that. I've been trying to negotiate August fight since May. The negotiation for Thanksgiving was seamless. Shout out to Mile High Hustle and Paradigm. No, Paradigm Media News got me the contract back in 5 minutes. That was a world record right there. I never had a contract signed in 5 minutes before. But Paradigm Media News, with two people that pulled out before, or the runner that sabotaged one of the fights. I'm not going to get into that no more. The runner sabotaged one of the fights. He's anxious to get in the ring. Right now, he's just getting he said he's going to have a whole new shirt, because we ain't going to be having no shirts on. You know what I mean? We ain't going to be having no shirts on. So, boom, he's getting a whole new shirt blasted right now for that. And he's training hard. Shout out to him. But this is what I say. This is percentage based. You say you got to follow. Oh, I don't agree with that, Mikey. I want 40K. Like Milk 74. I messaged him. I messaged everybody, cabrones. I wanted this shit to go. I want this to go every 3-4 months. I messaged Milk 74. Well, I want guaranteed 20. That ain't happening. There's no guarantee. You say you got drawing power. You say you got numbers. You say you got pull. This is what I do. But in this situation, again, a contract's a contract. They owe Nate Diaz $9 million. Someone that doesn't uphold their end of the contract should be stripped of their license and should be blasted and have a tainted reputation the rest of their lives. They should never be able to do that. It's like scamming the. It's like finding out. If it's like lying to the people. Like some of these YouTubers lie to the people. They get caught lying and they don't even apologize to the people because they're like, it's YouTube. People just tune in for whatever. People don't care if I lie every day or whatever. I guess that's how they think. I don't know. But here we have integrity. Sale. Anyways, all right, let's keep it pushing, man. And now let's talk about the 600 fight, all right? That's right, Norbies. That's right, cabron. Biden is about to push some AI shit. Let me see if I can go into let me show you my let me see if I can show you some AI right now. I'll show you some AI. Here's some AI. All right, let me see. I'm going to show you guys some AI right now. ¿Dónde está Google Chrome? Okay, ándale. So we got Google Chrome. All right. Here's some AI. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to show you some AI right now, cabrones. All right, here it is.
Flip the 8-ball. You're going to make 300 off that. Take the 300, get your
those
quarter.
are TikToks.
Take the quarter ounce.
Dead homies, they tried to air me out. The enemy goes tried to pop out. I called the homies, and they for sure finna slide on a set. The lil homie infant Trump just tapped in. He said it's up on the dead homies. We tripping. And that's on Crip Street.
When there's low in
dead homies, they tried to air me out. The enemy goes tried to pop out. I called the homies, and they for sure finna slide on a set. The lil homie infant Trump just tapped in. He said it's up on the dead homies. We tripping. And that's on Crip Street.
Oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, man, Mikey, the only one that's been solid through the time. I appreciate you, cabron. Again, I'm not trying to be solid, or I'm not trying to come off as anything, cabron. I'm a rehabilitated individual, man. I don't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm not trying to be a 50-year-old tough guy. It's funny, these 50-year-old gang members that are on the internet, or 50-year-old tough guys, or stalking people at the car shows and shit like that. It's like, if you still have to prove that you're somebody at almost 50 years old, you failed. You failed in whatever you were trying to accomplish, rep, status, etc. You failed because you're almost 50 years old talking about the streets. A lot of people that I know in Salinas lost a lot of years to the calles. The time we have on this earth, gente, is the most precious commodity we have ever. You can't get that back. So the individuals que hicieron 10 años, 15 años, 20 años, they should come out and just be trying to enjoy and live their life. Instead, we got a lot of overgrown kids on YouTube acting tough. I mean, that's probably what separates me from everyone else. Right? You want the tough guy stories. You want the eating bullets for breakfast stories. I'm on my Chicano story part 10 in the members only. I think I'm in I just got out of camp on that one. The first time in camp. I went to camp twice. So I'm about to catch a 90-day op because I'm going to turn 18. But those are stories we leave in the members only, because that's embarrassing shit. Loser shit. Only in California will they brag about doing tiempo. Only in California. You go to another state and you're the black sheep of the family that's in and out, or especially coming on the internet, you know what I mean, talking like a tough guy. They're going to look at you like, mira, el Rudy, el pendejo. Ya muy pronto va a caer a la cárcel, el güey. Wouldn't be sticking his chest out. Rudy would be over there at the corner of the barbecue with his head down, embarrassed as hell that he just did another term. But here it's different in California, man. Somehow they think staring at a concrete wall, it enables them to stick their chest out. And I'm against that 1,000%. But if you want those stories, trip out on the members only. $5.99, $7, something 99, you know, and there we go ahead and get into that. All right, let's keep it pushing. Tony Ayo, that's right, my boy. Saludos. I need a pisto. I did a 3-day fast. I just came off a 3-day fast, cabron. I ate dinner Sunday, 5 o'clock, and I just ate about 5:30 right now. It reboots your immune system. Go back to the beginning of the video. I talk a little bit about health. I'm really trying to push. I'm trying to help the raza, man. You're going to party your pinchy life away, and then what happens when you're in the pinchy hospital? You know what's crazy is because we don't keep diets. When these diseases hit us, our body's constantly fighting all these chingaderas, man. Our body's constantly is fighting sugar all the time. Our bodies are fighting carbs all the time. Our bodies are fighting junk all the time. That by the time something hits you that's serious and sick, it knocks you to the floor because you have no immune system. Your immune system's too busy fighting off shit that we eat. I don't want to get into that. It ain't health tube. Maybe we'll bring on Miss Chicano Tube. She's a big holistic. Miss Chicano Tube is a huge holistic health nut who's very well informed on all of these issues. Holistic doctors, holistic treatments and medicines. That's what we did with our oldest son, and he 100% came out of autism. our oldest son completely came out of that, where they diagnosed him first. We said, hell no, gave it to the Lord, helped his body, cleaned his body up, and then in about 2 years, they undiagnosed him, and he's as normal as can be. He's going to be a senior in high school this year. Whew. All right, that's right. Farmero's in the casa. That's right. Come on. Saying he was ripped off. Orale, video. That's right, Farmero. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. Saying he was ripped off. I'm not sure what you mean about ripped off, cabron. Could you elaborate a little bit? Or let me know, cabron. Hey, the next time you come to Salas, hit me up, cabron. You ain't hitting me up. You know what I mean? At least we'll burn one or something. We'll burn one. The youngsters don't even know what that means. Burn one. Anyways, all right. The 600 fight. Let me talk about that. That's right. Saludos from Paris Califas. That's right. Paris Califas is in the casa. That's right, my boy. That's over there. I think that's over there by Food News, right? Man, shout out to Food News. I think that's over there by Food News. You know, one of the let me tell you some housing market shit. Hesperia. I think that's you, Paris. Hesperia, Victorville are the lowest markets in California to buy a home right now. This is game, gente. They're the lowest markets out of is there 55 counties in California? They're the lowest markets, Hesperia and Victorville, to buy a home. There ain't nothing out there, cabrón. All there is just granite, little rocks, and it looks like Arizona, but it's the lowest housing market. And we got one of the highest in Monterey County. Over here, they got fixer-uppers for almost $1 million. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it makes for some good commissions. Really good commissions. All right. So 600, he signed a contract with 1111 Network. I follow 600. I got on his channel through, I think, Kev Mac Videos. Shout out to Kev Mac Videos. A lot of people didn't know me and Kev Mac like this, cabrones. Like this. I've been on Kev Mac Videos. A lot of people didn't even know that. You think I'm lying? I'll send you the link. Just DM me on IG. Okay. I've been on Kev Mac Videos. It was for promoting one of the fights. I forgot which one. Anyways, 600. So that's how I got put onto this individual. And there's a lot of controversy with him. A lot of people are saying he's an undercover. He's the police. He's this and he's that. Well, if he is, he is. I know the street people have a problem with that because the street people just, are living by a street code. So, yeah, obviously, you don't let the popos infiltrate. But that fight that he had on, absolutely whack. It was absolutely whack. Why was it whack? Number one, he's about 150 pounds bigger than his opponent. His opponent looked like he was 170, 180, and this guy's 350. Number one. Number two, I could tell, because I've been around boxing for more than 10 years now, and I coach. I boxed for 10 years, just amateur, cabrones, cálmanse. That ain't shit, you know what I mean? So I know something about boxing. And my boxing coaches that are in the comment section, you know what I'm going to say is true, right? He was holding back from punching the individual, the 180-pounder, because he knew if he hit this guy with all his pinchy might, he would knock him out of the ring like Debo. Completely knock him out like, hey, man, Pop's tripping. He want me to ask for my bike back. So it was very obvious in the fight that he was holding back from punching him, one. Two, why did they have belly pads? A belly pad is only there to prevent body blows for sparring. Why did they have belly pads? And second, why did they, or third or fourth, why did they have headgear? You will never see in any content creator series of fighting fight ever. None of my fighters wear chavala headgear. Never.
Life's a risk, carnal.
Life's a risk, carnal. All bad talking about you ran 200-300 fights and all that. Then I don't want to hear nothing. It's funny because these individuals that well, I did this and 300 fights and I knocked people out and I'm 300 and all that. And then they'll be messaging me, Mikey, can I wear headgear? Mikey, what glove size? And I'm not talking about Thanksgiving, neither. I'm not talking about Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving, they're just going to get in there and they're going to bang it out. It's going to be a good one. So this is what I'm not talking, or I'm not talking about any of my previous fighters as well. I'm really talking about some fights that fell through, that weren't being able to be negotiated, because I'm not going to deal with special individuals. I'm not going to have anyone step in the ring under my banner that's a little special. I got to hold you by the hand. You want a little bit of a diva. You're not going to fight unless you have grapes fed to you, you got feathers fanned, and you're served some kind of sparkling water. So that fight, I mean, it was $15. It was, the most entertaining part of the fight, in my opinion, because it sucked. And then they threw in the towel and they stopped it after like the second round. They called it a success, but again, as a viewer, it sucked. Now compare that to my fights. You had EBK and stories written by a current prisoner. They were thumping. Did anyone see the fight in the comment section right here? You tell me if they weren't thumping, if they weren't dropping each other. You tell me. You could go to my community post page. Go back you got to go back to February, but I don't post that much. Maybe it'll take you 30 seconds. And look at the chingazos that were thrown in that fight. Now, what was better than that one was Cholo Trucker and Buzz Yard Recall. Because as soon as the bell rang, it was like two roosters. And, man, if Buzz would have had monster cardio on that first round that he whooped Cholo Trucker's ass, I just got to keep it real. I know I shouldn't have said it like that. My bad, Cholo Trucker. Despensa, carnal. The first round that he got over, it was like a 10-8 round for Buzz. He was lighting up Cholo Trucker. And then Cholo came back and said, this is on pay-per-view. I ain't going out like that. And not only that, did you see the entrances? The entrances were worth the 15 bolas. Just the entrances. If you want to see the fights, it's ccsof. You just go back into a community post. The website is all over the community post, okay? If you want to see the fights, they're 15 bolas. And then you can come back and talk shit to me and tell me they sucked. Then tell me. So anyways, this fight, then they threw the towel in the second round because obviously it was a mismatch. You got David versus Goliath, but that they had belly pads and headgear. What's up with that? 1111 Network. What's up with that? Is it liability? Don't you got insurance? Aren't you signing liability waivers, releases in the contracts? I mean, why do we have to have headgear and belly pads? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to put up the phone number in case anyone wants to call in on anything we talked about. You know what I mean? We've been talking about a lot of things, man. LA Eyekon left. Hater World and Cholo Juan. Older cat. I mean, older cats come in. They look like they had clecha once upon a time, but clout is so much of a drug that they got to come on the internet and just net bang, net bang, net bang, net bang. You lost all credibility. At that point, you lost every credibility. Almost 50 years old, still trying to prove yourself? What the hell is that? You failed on whatever you try to do. You know, tough guys. Anyways, all right, let's keep it pushing. That's right. The official Big Joe show is in the casa. Do yourself a favor. Subscribe over to that channel right here. Big Joe, he's what I call, he should be the voice of the raza. The official Big Joe show is, in my opinion, the voice of the raza. You have someone that grew up, went through strife and adversity, came out on the other side. He's not looking at north and south and where were you at and what yard and none of that stuff. And he's in Chicano Hollywood right now filming 3 movies or 3 series. So shout out to the official Big Joe show. Every time you come in, official Big Joe show, you're the VIP, cabron. You're the VIP. All right. So let me talk about 45 a little bit. 45, which I mean is Uncle Trump. I wasn't, because I know it's breaking. I wasn't going to make the whole show about Uncle Trump. No, I wasn't. But we do get into politics here. because I've seen a lot of these cabrones, even at City Hall here with city politics right here, steer the people the wrong way. And I call them out on their bullshit. Who is Canelo fighting in September? South LA, we still don't know. But ever since Floyd Mayweather retired, cabron, Canelo now owns those holidays. It's crazy. Why did Floyd Mayweather own the biggest Mexican holidays in boxing? Because he was the biggest draw. Whether you hated Floyd or you loved him, you wanted to see him win or get knocked out, you were going to buy the pay-per-view, and I did. I bought his pay-per-views for like 4 or 5 years. I would always make ribs and have a big old cookout at the Chante. All right, here we go. That's right, Official Big Joe Show. That's right, Mile High Hustle. He's laughing. Órale. All right, here we go. So 45. Let's talk about 45 a little bit. It was breaking news. Why is it breaking news? There is no bigger headline on the internet than they tried to matar el presidente. I mean, am I right? We could talk about Chisme Tube, Cotorreo. We could talk about all the stuff that we talk about on Chicano Tube. You know what I mean? Chicanismo, Cultura, all that stuff, right? There is no bigger news than what happened the other day. So what was a trip was I was actually doing a photo shoot. I'm going to give you some backstory. I was doing a photo shoot, right? And on that photo shoot, I was taking pictures of my wife. So we have a photo studio right here at the pad. We have a photo studio at the pad. And I was taking pictures of my wife. My wife had a new MAGA shirt, MAGA hat. My wife is very expressive. She has no filter. No tiene pelos en la lengua. She will not hold back. She will go nuclear, and she doesn't give a shit. But just like a Chicana. Official Big Joe Show, you're one of the voices of Raza. But I appreciate you. You know, unfortunately, you know, my reach is we're 11,000 deep, and it's gonna go further and further and further. That's what I want to do. The real work that I do, which is more beneficial to me, is not the work I do on YouTube. No. It's when I go to the juvenile hall, and it's when I go to the camp once a month. It's those two meetings. It's when I talk, which they have tablets. The youngsters see all these YouTube videos, and that's why I ain't switching up. Not for no money or nothing. You can't buy me. You know, that's the real work that I do. You know, this YouTube started off as a continuation of that, and then I think it still is. It's going in the right direction. But I appreciate you. Mike is always in good standings. That's right, cabrón. I know they've called me all kinds of names and stuff like that. You want to know all that? Go to the members only. For people that say you're this and you're that, do you know? How do you know when they put labels? You know, you're this, you're that, because you talk to him. Blah, blah, blah. Go to the members only. There, if you want to talk about eating bullets for breakfast, well, those are all those stories right there. Anyways, let's talk about 45. This is crazy. 45, Uncle Trump was only the third president in history to survive an attempt on his life. I don't know if you knew that. The other, unfortunately, presidents got expired. I believe it was Roosevelt. I could be wrong. You know, you can fact check me. Roosevelt. For sure, I know the second one that survived an attempt on his life was Ronald Reagan. Now, Ronald Reagan was my mother's favorite president because he did a lot for immigrants. That means as far as immigration goes, you know, my mother, you know, she became a naturalized citizen. You know, she didn't hesitate or think about it. She became a citizen. Ronald Reagan, and now Uncle Trump is the third president to survive an assassination attempt. The RNC is actually happening right now. The Republican National Convention, the DNC will come after that. Again, it's politics. It's red and it's blue. I don't see red. I don't see blue. Just like I don't see that in the youngsters. Just like I don't see that on where you're from. None of that shit no more. You know, this ain't Mi Vida Loca, the movie no more, right? I'm glad I survived that. So some people see it like that where, oh, I can't, you know, talk to him or this, or they bump heads and get into it. All I see is actions. All I see is actions. I had Tony Virueta, who's running for Senate, District 17, on the podcast. And I asked him very hard questions, because if anyone says they want to represent the raza, the voice of the raza, leaders of the raza, then we're going to put them on the hot seat, especially on Chicano Street. Anyways, Amber Rose, very popular, right? Model, singer. I don't know. She has a high brand, right? Very, very high brand. Amber Rose. She was at the RNC. 50 Cent. All these other individuals. Now people will be like, oh, what? I'm telling you, people are waking up, man. It's just, what's the better of the two choices? This is what I want. And this is with all due respect. All due respect. I want someone to wear this current president, wear him on your chest, call me in, and give me the record of his accomplishments. Give me that. At least tell me what he's done. Because I can go for hours on what we had with 45, because I was in the housing market. I was lowering the rent on my properties for all of my tenants because I was getting those extra tax credits and kickbacks. I was lowering the rent. They were like, why are you lowering? We never seen this lower the rent. I said, only during this economy. It's the economy. We're breaking records. Amber Rose, 50 Cent, they're hating on them. But hey, it is what it is. People they watch Univision and they swear on anything Jorge Ramos says. She said, though, Amber Rose said this at the RNC. She said the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. Just want to put that out there, right? What was crazy was 5 days before. 5 days. 5 days before the attempt on his life, which is 45 Uncle Trump, Biden made a statement. And he said, what did he say? It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Now, this is what I want. This is what I want to bring to reality, because people deal with their feelings, and I say F your feelings. I only want to deal with facts. You tell me if what I'm going to say next is true or is false, and comment it. Mikey, you're lying. Let me know. Enlighten me. Okay? If Uncle Trump had said 5 days before they do a hit on 46 that we should put him in the bullseye, what would happen? What would happen? I'll tell you what would happen. He'd be in court again. Another lawsuit. That's what would happen. Did you notice that when they blew off, and they blew off a piece of his ear. Gente, his ear looks like a pit bull. They got his pinche oreja clipped. It's crazy. It's crazy. His ear looks like it just got clipped. The bullet hit him. And the only reason it didn't hit him in the back of the head is because he looked at a graph he had on the side of him that had some statistics. And if you wouldn't have looked at that graph, he wouldn't be one of the 3 that survived. He'd be one of the ones that expired. Now, let me get to my point. Just some food for thought for the raza, right? Did you notice? Because they say that his people that vote for him are this or that, they're this or that. To each his own. Hey, freedom of speech, say what you want. But did you notice that after 45 got the corner of his ear blown off the other day, and did he stood up with a pinche Chicano fist and all that, which the memes are funny, right? When they're trying to kick you out of the bar and the last song comes on. The memes are funny. The memes are hilarious. That's who won, man. The memes have been winning all year long, man. Did you notice that there was no rioting? Did you notice that there weren't cities burning down? Did you notice the difference? Because I'll tell you like this. If it was 46, mark my words. And again, people that have that ideology, It's all to the good, man. Politics is a buzz killer. That's not who you are as a person. Who you are is your heart. As long as you're not a piece of shit in your heart, you're good. Don't worry about politics. Back in the day, no one gave a shit. It's private. Who you vote in that pinchy booth is up to you who you vote. And who you should be voting for is who you believe is going to help your family. The issue number one is the economy for the raza. But anyways, did you notice the difference? Because if that happened to 46, I guarantee you, right now, I guarantee they will be burning cities to the ground. They would be burning businesses to the ground. There would be rioting and looting in the pinche street. And every news reporter that's bought and paid for, which is 90%. The only unbiased ones you have now is like Newsmax, maybe Daily Mail. There's only a couple that are unbiased. I guarantee you these newspaper articles and outlets would be saying there's nothing wrong with cities burning to the ground because it's for a good cause. That's complete bullshit. I'm going to continue to call out the hypocrisy. There would be looting in the streets, and the reporters would say there's nothing wrong happening. I feel for the people. They're just reacting and letting off steam. But they're burning businesses to the ground. They're burning entire cities to the ground. To anyone that thinks like that, you do you. You do you. I just wanted to point out that difference. All right. The last thing we're going to talk about tonight, cabrones. That's right. Raider Tommy, I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. Carlos. Disco El Super Bisto connected to the Bush family. Yeah, but Obama, Bush. Don't ever hang off the cliff on one politician because the next cabron or cabrona is going to come in and 4 years later and switch the whole thing. Because if Tata 46 loses, he could run again in 2028 and come back in. But imagine at 90 years old on how he is right now, he's really, really declining. He's really declining. All right, let's talk about this quinceañera. Okay, there's been a quinceañera that's been going viral because of the graphic nature, like stripper dancing that was happening during their dance performances. Okay, I don't know. This is just a sign of the times, gente. Complete sign of the times, man. We're so desensitized to shit that's happening. We don't see nothing wrong with 6 to 8 ladies, 15-year-old young ladies dancing like strippers. If I saw that, okay, because I wouldn't be going to the quinceañera practice or none of that stuff, right? I'm just the one that's paying for everything, right? I'm only gonna walk in and try to enjoy it and hope that my daughter is be in the moment with my daughter. That's the most important thing to me. I'm not gonna be going to the quince practice, but if I walked in, and I want your opinion right here in the comment section, if I walked in and I saw 6 to 8 15-year-olds provocatively dancing on the dance floor like that, I might shut that shit down. I'm not saying the whole quinceañera, I would shut it down, but I stand on principles. I'm not going to teach my daughters to provocatively dance like that at only 15. Just remember this. 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour under the age of 18 years old is a baby. I'll say the law got it right with that. We're looking at 6 to 8 babies dancing on the dance floor. You got moms that are having their daughters twerk on camera, laughing and twerking on camera. You got moms, they don't want their daughters to aspire to have morals, principles, and values. They just want them to be baddies. This is the generation that we're in right now. When I saw that quinceañera dance, it didn't shock me. It made me sick because I'm looking at it, and I look at the whole thing, 10 seconds, and there was like a part 2. I didn't even want to see a pinchy part 2. I saw 10 seconds. That's all I had to see, is the moves they were doing for 10 seconds. The choreography got major backlash for what I call a sexualized routine. It was. The parents ought to be ashamed. And it could not be the dad or the mom. Maybe it was just the choreographer. Or maybe they were go with the flow. Do whatever. That's why we got teen pregnancies in the high percentiles. I just want my daughter to be a baddie instead of putting morals and principles inside of her and raising her to be a woman. That was crazy. I want to see what the people are saying, because that's absolutely insane that you would see that at a quinceañera and they will justify it just like the people, the ones that do the videos. And they got the little kids dancing. What they're doing, especially in California, what they're doing to our children in California is sick, man. They're grooming our children in the schools. They're talking about sex. This is sick. This is sick. They're talking about sex to our children in school. And somehow the ideology in their head is that they're right for doing this. I'll tell you what, to the school districts, superintendents, and principals, you keep sex out of your mouth when you talk to my children. I'm not, homie, don't play that. I'm not going for that. These children books with nudity, these parades that they have on California with naked men next to 5-6-year-old children standing next to them. It's sick. They just passed AB 1955. Governor Newsom, he passed this law. California is the only in the union, 50 states, the only state that if your child is exposed, prone to suicide, this is how I see it, the school will not tell you. They just voted it. He pushed it through the House. Again, it's ideology. I'm not here to bang red or blue politics. You do you, man. I didn't grow up in politics. I grew up in the pinchy hood, man. And I wasn't even on the pinchy calles almost all my teen years. So I'm not indoctrinated. That's why I said that. No me lavaron el coco. I didn't go to school, college, and rallies or nothing like that, or even swear to be in politics, you know, or try to run for a political office. And the worst thing is then you get fired after. But anyways, 1955, AB 1955 says that the schools don't have to inform the parents when their children is going to the school, talking to the counselors, talking to the teachers, and saying that they're a different gender, or they identify as this, identify as that. Why would you not inform the parents? Do they think that California is full of inept parents? Do they think that California is not capable of parenting their children? I'm trying to figure out this ideology. Anything that pertains to my child, I have a right to know. Anything. But it's a law right now. Again, in order to curb those kind of things from happening is stay in tune with your kids, gente. Don't let the pinchy internet raise your kids. There was a meme that says, I was raised by OGs and you were raised by IG. We ain't the same. That's right. Risky Business says, is Trump good for the raza as a whole or for individual Chicanos? Trump is good for all people. Now, I'm not saying he's perfect. Wait, he's got NDAs with shit he had to hide in the skeletons in the closet. But who doesn't? One thing I feel about him, and I could be wrong, Risky. I could be wrong, cabrón. One thing I feel about him is que no es vendido. One thing I feel about him is that he is not persuaded by just look at how he dealt with NATO. Look how he dealt with Putin. Look how he dealt with all the world leaders. He told them, if you do that, all hell will be unleashed on you, and you like never before. O sea, tenía huevos el güey. Carpet bomb the Taliban. Annihilated all of them and got out safely. So I think he's good for all people. I know you sent me something about speaking Spanish or something like that. Cálmate, cabrón, cálmate. No, I'm just playing. Mike's wrote, Cholo Juan, the president who argues. What? Oh, man. Was that a video? Maybe that was one of his early videos that he was working at Burger King. I'm not knocking anyone. Shit. I got a lot of respect for people that get up. This is old school shit. This is not new school shit. The internet done messed all our heads up. That get up, go to work, and provide for their families and come back. That's honorable in my book. But now the internet got it all messed up. That we're trying to high side and flaunt. And, you know, it's like everyone just posts the highlights of themselves on the internet. You know, most people don't post their low point. I appreciate people that post their low points on the internet because that's keeping it real. That's keeping it a buck. All right. But anyways, about Cholo Juan for president. Chalucas. Oh, man, that's crazy. And then he always starts out his videos speaking Nahuatl. Nahuatl, or however you want to say it, Nahuatl. Nahua, I guess with a W. Man, I haven't spoken that in 2003 or through 8. Anyways, all right, we're gonna wrap it up. Let me just go ahead and go in the comment section, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in again. We're live on Chicano Tube. This is the live on Chicano Street. I appreciate everyone that dropped the comment. All I ask is you just hit the like, man. It helps the algorithm. It helps the channel out. We ain't in here for views. Man, some people will claim that I am, right? I'm in here for views. I want to get back to my family. I want to get back to kicking it. I want to go and take a break. I want to live life, man. I just came out for a 72-hour fast. But again, this is what we do here. We're going to level up and enlighten the people. Let me see. Gnarly Vato says, my daughter showed me that. That's crazy, bro. Bro, they're children, man. I don't give a... You're sick in the head, man. All of us are a little crazy. Cálmase, okay? We're all missing a couple screws. Let's keep this a buck, okay? Let's keep this a buck. There's no one... You know, we're a little bit off, a little bit. But you got to be major off. Like, you shouldn't even be on the streets off. You know, if you're going to harm a child. You know. Let me see what we got right. Or to have children conduct themselves in that manner. What the hell's wrong with you?
Call from
science teacher.
To accept.
That's right, science teacher. You're live on Chicano Street. I appreciate you. What you got to say?
Hola, Mike, ¿qué tal? Saludos.
Hey, saludos a ti, man. ¿Cómo estás?
Aquí nomás, bro. I was listening into your live like I usually do.
Dime.
No, I usually hardly ever comment. You know, but I had to tap in.
Dime.
You know what I mean? Como dicen la raza, I had to pull up. You know what I mean? You're talking about the teachers and cosas así. Con todo respeto, tienes toda tu razón. You have every right to your opinion, and I agree with you, right? There's some things that I'm not saying I disagree with you, or it's just maybe there's a little bit of lack of maybe information from the side of the teachers, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
When it comes to those particular cochinadas that they try to impose on the kids, that disgusting agendas, those perverted issues that are being pressed on the minds of the innocent children, you know, I'm totally against that, carnal. For one, I'm a family man. I got my kids. And I grew up in Salinas, East Side to be exact. I'm a community man. I represent the face of education in my community. When it comes to taking care of children and guiding them right. And then the last thing I want to do is disrespect my community, disrespect the families, the parents, the moral upbringing, the culture, la cultura that we share as a community, Specifically in the Dallas community, ya sabes cómo estamos ahí.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing también que te digo era, te voy a decir, I'm going to tell you the bad side of it, man. So to start off with me, right? But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to skip on how I teach my classroom, and I'm going to talk about my education, how I was taught to teach. Chapar on this is an injustice to the straight men, the backbone, the positive masculinity that represents this country, the world as a whole. Because that's who I am, that's who you are. That's why I so much respect you.
Simon.
When I was going through my masters and even throughout my bachelor's, so some of these courses that I was taking up in the universities, I had a teacher because they were either straight or they were from the other side. You know what I mean? And I remember correctly, carnal, que yo tenía un teacher, a dude, you know, a male teacher who might have identified as something else, as he has the right to do so. But check this out. He gave us a list in one of our final assignments. He literally said this. The vato said this. He goes, you got a list of 15 books. Choose 5 of them, right, to make your research. But if you want to get an A in my class, you better choose this book that's written by a gay person. If you don't choose that book, you're not going to get an A. Entonces, I chose not to write using that book. Obviously, it was my choice, and I didn't get an A. But my work was. Yo soy chingón, ese como Capone, ¿me entiendes? Como es la canción de Kid Raz, ¿me entiendes? When it comes to my what I represent with my work, it should have deserved an A. Yo fui y le dije, y él me dijo, I told you if you wanted to get on my good side. I said, but that you said it was an option. I didn't think you meant it seriously. And the vato got, he didn't get, he basically told me like this. I made myself very clear, right? If you wanted to get on my good side, you should have written about the gay book, period. And I was like, fine, that's your choice. But I'm telling you right now, that's an injustice. I accept my grade, whatever it is, a B, whatever. I kind of got to an argument, and then ya me fui. But that is just to show you that some of the professors also force the upcoming teachers to follow their agenda. It's not just that the ones. Okay, that's one point. And then, so now I made it I was the only man in an all 10 female master's program, because when you get to the educational program, it gets smaller. You're with that group for damn near about almost 2 years, and I was with they put you with this particular group, right? And then I was the only vato straight, you know, and then half of the jainas were straight, half of them were not. But ya te imaginas the pressure I had as a man, and I'm teaching science, carnal, ¿sí me entiendes? So every vote, everything that I did, bro, like where should we go next? Who should we invite to speak? Any opinion that I had that had to do with inviting either positive masculinity males, positive males, or talking about straight agendas, or just, dude, it was all turned down, carnal. ¿Me entiendes? And then, so there is also an agenda in the universities that push for that. But here's the thing. Now, bringing it back to my classroom. Every teacher has the right to teach your classroom however they want. Aquí in the community, what you're going to see, unfortunately, it's like the bad apples. You know, they kind of make everybody else look bad. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm from East Salinas. I know how it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? One particular bad move from one individual can make the entire community look bad. So the same thing with teachers, you know. Usually what it happens is that there's a lot of female teachers, bro. There's a lot of female teachers. And I would say that maybe 70% of them are married.
Mm-hmm.
So usually married female teachers tend to be more on the conservative side, you know. And then you got the 30%, porque son del otro lado. They're very strong and they act like men. So they you go to their classrooms and it's blasted everywhere. They got all these pride flags and all these quotes, and then the way they dress, and then it's just non-professional.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm closing it up. And then you got the male side, bro. There's less males in school as teachers than there is females, and the reason is because it's usually like the mathematics, the engineering, the science, where men are those kind of teachers. And and I'm not sure if you guys know the news, but there's hardly anybody. There's a lack of teachers in the United States, so they're hiring a bunch of substitutes, bro.
Yeah.
So the majority of in the public schools, the majority of the teachers that your children are receiving education from, they're substitutes. They're not people with masters or credentials like myself with like like in the mathematics and chemistry and biology. ¿Me entiendes? So usually there's people like me in my classroom that we don't talk about that. You know, like one day we're going to meet sooner than later, and I'm going to prove it. I want you to call me out on it. The first time we meet, I want you to say, show me the, como dicen, show me the paper. Te voy a enseñar the emails where I refuse, Mikey, to talk about any sex, any pride. When we have the sex education that says I refuse to talk about contraceptives, I refuse to have an integrated classroom. The ladies should go to the female teacher, and the boys should stay with me. And I'm not going to teach them about any sexual agenda. I'm very old school, strict, and the West La Mera Neta make a lot of teachers, they hate me because of that shit. They even gone to the union because of that shit.
Gotcha.
But I'm a minority in that sense. So I know I ranted. I just wanted to kind of throw that information out. Para que mires que in the classroom, there's a lack of men. So what I'm trying to say is it's cool to be a teacher, guys. For the youngsters out there, being a teacher, we need more men in education, more men in science, and I hope you guys can understand that just because the law is passed, it doesn't mean that all teachers act like that. Because just to end it right here, when I see that a chavalito might be having a concerns, whether something that his parents should know, I always send the text message or the email, and I tell them in that text or email, feel free to call me between this time and that time, because I also have to come home and be a parent.
That's right.
So it's a choice. It's a choice by the teachers, but it is being pushed on. So we have to come together, bro. Mega all the way. We have to come together as men to be more involved with the education of your children. Get to know who their teachers are. Go to the schools, man. Go to the open house. You're there, Mike. I know. ¿Me entiendes? So
that's
right.
right.
La verdad, I taught in the community where you live. Simple as that. I am a teacher. Yo te miro. I see your participation. We need more men to participate in the education of their children. Is all I'm saying. Para que sepan, para que hablen, por lo menos to know what kind of teacher you have in your classroom. That's it, carnal. Sorry that I ranted. I just wanted to throw that in. But respect to you, carnal.
Ándale. Gracias, science teacher. Buenas noches.
Adios. Buenas noches.
That's right, science teacher. He's a teacher, science, obviously, in Salinas. And he's right. I don't make videos because, again, I'm not trying to be like Alvin. Look at me. I'm at city council. I'm over here. But I'm a huge advocate. I'm definitely tapped in with all of the community leaders in Salinas, and it for the good and for the bad, which means when there's a homicide, I get a phone call. Still as a minister, I get a phone call as clergy. And if there's any cabron that's trying to put poison, or like science teacher was saying, they're grooming our children. But again, they want protection. Or say how they feel. This is a bully mentality. When they feel they're the largest conglomerate, when they're the large group, they feel the bully mentality. I got to keep that a buck. Keep that a buck. If you go back to like the JFK days, Democrats, and I'm not shitting on all Democrats, they were the ones that would strong arm people for votes and hire tough guys to go force people to vote how they wanted them to vote. This is history. I'm sure science teacher knows the history, but I appreciate you, science teacher. It's 8 o'clock, you guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I got to go to buy some makeup. My daughter wants some makeup. I'm probably going to go to the store, but I appreciate you guys. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. We're going to be back on Friday night. There's always a lot to talk about. I appreciate all the day oneers, everyone that's in the comment section right here. I'm going to give a last and final roll call. Carlos, I appreciate you. SB1414. We'll get to that, cabron. If you can, hold off for me on Friday. I'll get back and I can touch on that. Comment it one more time. Time just flew by all the time like it always does. My daughter was in one. It was nothing like that. That's right, Gnarly Vato. You're talking about the quinceañera dance. I appreciate you. Man on fire. He's on fire, ese cabrón, way. Like the Human Torch. He says, that's right, check mark. That's right, Senka was laughing, la chingada. Trump is good for American citizens. I just think he's not sold out. I'm not saying he's walking on water. And I just think the people are past the point of all the little edited clip videos. The edited clip videos, what they did, and all of the media outlets as soon as he got, put in office in 2016. Again, politics to me is neither here nor there. A lot of people say, nah, Mikey. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a perspective. This is from the barrio. This is from the barrio. I'm tapped in with the community. I'm tapped in with the people. I know when the people are hurting, and I know when the people are prosperous. That's it. But if it would have been the other way around, I guarantee you there would have been looting, rioting, and burning of cities to the ground right now. And every newspaper outlet, news article, TV station that's sold out, son vendidos, would have said, there's nothing wrong, ladies and gentlemen. They would have been in front of a pinchy city burning to the ground. People dying in those buildings. Dying in those buildings on fire. They would have been these newspaper reporters, which is like 80%, 90% of them. They would have been like, this is just freedom of speech that's happening. Something very American. A la verga. That's right. Man on fire, appreciate you. Cabron Dawood, Asha, that's right. Good night, everyone. Another good stream. I appreciate you. That's right. Bui Aguilar, that's right. JB Bustos, now the Republicans attacked the U.S. Capitol smear. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but you know what? You can call in, cabron. Call in on Friday night, and I always like to have a discussion. Enlighten me. I'm not claiming to know everything, especially politics. You know, I'm more involved with what's happening in my community because this affects my children. Almost tempted to run for office. But if I ever did run for an office, it ain't going to be on YouTube. YouTube right here is just a freedom of speech, of expression. I'm going to get whatever I need to get off my chest on YouTube. And then what I do in real life is what I do in real life. I'm not going to put videos of me passing out blankets, food, and all the stuff that I do. Or like science teacher said, he's seen me at the council meetings and stuff like that. No. We just do that because it's good for the community. And I'm still in the community. That's right, Richie Lokes, I appreciate you. That's right, cabron. That's right, Mike's World, JB Bustos, live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. You guys, I'm going to see you guys on Friday night. Shout out to you guys because you guys were here, because of you guys were 11,000 strongs. Just do me the favor. That's all I ask is one thing, is that you hit the X on the chat. And then go to the like button and just hit the like button. It lets YouTube know which conversations you're listening to, which channels you're rocking with. And then you can go back and hit the chat button. And if you're listening podcast style through earbuds, you can do the same thing after the stream. Is you can go ahead and comment below any ideas, any opinions. I'm up for it. I have thick skin. I'm not trying to block anybody for saying something against me or, Mikey, you're lame. And don't block them, gente. We got wrenches in the comment section. Don't block them. Let them express their opinions because we're not in a pinchy communist country, all right? So let anyone say what they say, what they want to say. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. It's over, mi linda, beautiful raza. I'll be back on Friday night, same time. Don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them, hug on them. But the most important thing is in the end, all you got is the memories.